We have the 2017 Leaving Cert Paper 2 question 4, and we're given 3 points on a circle. Okay, and when we're given 3 points on a circle, we generally set up the gx equation like so. And what we can do here is we know that the point 0, 0 is on this equation. So if we replace x with 0 and y with 0, what we can find out is what is the c value. As it turns out, the c value is going to be quite easy here. We're just going to end up with a c value equal to 0, and that's very handy. Now we're going to do the same thing with the next part. We're going to do x and y again, except the c value, which was here, we now don't know that that's 0. So we just replace that with 0. We're going to do the same thing with the point 6.5 and 0. So it's going to be 6.5 squared plus 0 squared for y, plus 2gx, which is going to be 2g times x, which is 6.5. That's going to be 2fy, which is going to be 2f times y, which is 0. Now please remember that minus g minus f is the center of the circle. Okay, and we need g, f, and c to find out what is the full equation. We can just insert them back into the original equation. And we know that this once again is equal to 0. Now we're going to get 6.5 squared, which is 42.25. And we're just going to get 13g here, and that equals 0. And then we're going to find out that 13g is equal to minus 42.25. And minus 42.25 divided by 13 and that's going to turn out to be a g value of minus 3.25. Now that I know the g value is minus 3.25, I'm just going to reuse all this again. Now we know that the c value is 0, which I have in red, and we now know that g is minus 3.25, and that would mean that 2g would be minus 6.5. So see this 2g here? It's going to rub it out. I'm going to replace it with minus 6.5. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do now. We're going to use 10 and 7 for the xy. Plus 7 squared. It's going to be 6.5 times your x value, which is 10. It's going to be 2f times our y value, which is 7. Now 2f times 7 is 14f, so I'm just going to save myself a bit of time here. The c value we know is 0. Okay, we put all of this into the calculator, and what we'll find out is that it's actually 84. So it's going to be 84 plus 14f equals 0. Then we're just going to get 14f equals minus 84, and f equals minus 6. When you divide minus 84 by 14, you get minus 6. So we have g is minus 3.25. We have f is minus 6, and we have c is 0. And then I'm just going to go back to the very beginning, rub all this out. And what we're going to get is x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals 0. We're going to sub back in all those numbers. We're going to get x squared plus y squared. We have 2g is minus 6.5 up here. 6.5x. 2f is going to be 2 times minus 6, which is minus 12y. And our c value is 0. And that there is our answer. Wasn't too bad. Okay, let's move on to part B. Find the angle BCA. Give your answer in degrees correct 2 decimal places. Whoa. So let's find the location of BCA. So the 3 locations are 0, 0, 0, 0, 6.5 and 0, and 10, 7. Okay, and let's do a quick mock-up diagram of this. Okay, A would be 0, 0, which is located here. B is 6.5 across, so B would be 6.5 across around here. C would be 10 across and 7 up, so C would be somewhere around here. And we're looking for the angle BCA. The middle letter is the most important letter. So we're talking about the middle letter here, which is C. And that would be this angle here, and we call this angle X. Okay. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is using the cosine rule. Because I know that the cosine rule, which is this rule here, can get me the angle from 3 lengths. That's one way of doing it. I think the other way of doing it could be, I'm sort of running through the ideas in my head. So I could use the cosine rule, and with the cosine rule, I could use x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And what I could use is I could find out the 3 lengths. I could find out the length of the yellow line, I could find the length of the blue line, and I could find the length of the green line. And I could do it this way, which makes a lot of sense. The other way I could also do it is to find I could find the way that'd be done in the other way of doing it, which is the one that's covered in the if you look at the marking scheme, they use the tan theta one, which is tan theta equals plus or minus m1 minus m2 all over 1 plus m1 times m2. And this one is where you get, this is for the angle between 2 lines. So if we get the slope of the yellow line, which would be m1, and the slope of the blue line, which would be m2, we can figure that out quite quickly. So the shorter method would be the tan theta version, and the longer method would be using the cosine rule and using the length formula 2 times, because you actually know that the length of this part is 6.5. So they are 2 possible routes you could go about doing this. I'd advise you to go through both routes, if I'm being honest, if you had the time. But I am going to do method number 2. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use I'm going to find the slope of m1 and the slope of m2. Now we need our slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. We call this x1 y1, and this one is x2 y2. Okay, so it's going to be 7 take away y1, which is 0. And then it's going to be x2, which is 10 take away 6.5. And it's 7 over 10 take away 6.5 is 3.5. And 7 over 3.5 is 2. So the slope of m1 is 2. Okay. Now we're going to do b to c. I'll keep sorry, that was the slope of b to c. Or was it? Oh, sorry, that is the slope of b to c. So that's actually m2. m2 is 2. Now I'm going to figure out m1. m1 is a to c. So I'll call this x1, y1. So it's going to be 7 take away 0, which is y2 take away y1, over x2, which is 10 take away 0, which is quite simply 7/10. Okay, then we're going to put all this into our formula here. And we're going to get tan theta is equal to plus or minus, and m1 is 7/10, m2 is 2. It's 1 plus 7/10 times 2. I'm going to put all that into the calculator, and I'm going to get tan theta equals plus or minus, it's going to be minus 13 over 24. And you can take the positive or the negative here. Okay. So we're just going to go shift tan inverse, and we might do minus 13 over 24. And what we get here is minus 28.44. Now, 2 minuses make a plus. If I multiply this minus by this minus, it make a plus. So I could also do the positive version of that. And the answer is 28.44, because we can see that it's acute angle. So the answer is angle BCA is 28.44. Once again, check your marking scheme as you go along. Make sure that you're getting the correct answer. I have the marking scheme in front of me here, and I'm checking that I'm correct right now. Okay,